Hey, oh wow. Yeah. Hey, it's Ray, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we're going to be watching the craziest webcomic you need to start reading. This was uploaded about 5 years ago, however, it ended up in my recommended, so I'm kind of just like a little curious since I never actually got to divulge into it, and not to mention the thumbnail looks like this, so I was kind of just like, what am I opening up here? What's going on? But anywho, if you guys are into that, go ahead and grab a drink. Got my little coffee over here. Go ahead and get yourself a snack. I got myself some graham crackers, cinnamon sugar covered, anywho, whatever. But of course, let's get into it.
Within the past few years, webcomics have evolved in interesting ways with how they are presented through social media. Twitter and Tumblr's navigation and systems allow for this type of content to thrive thoroughly. However, I personally find it hard today to become as invested in webcomics as I used to. I've never been into something as long-form as Homestuck.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen Homestuck in years. Shout out to the people who survived the Italia versus Homestuck war back in 2009, guys. Golly.
Or Kevin and Cal, but my knowledge in webcomics has only been anecdotal at best. I don't actively seek out webcomics, but I let them kind of come to me. However, I managed to find something truly unique and mesmerizing. I found a webcomic that not only subverts your
Poop on your balls. I'm done.
expectations, but lays out an
Done.
interesting meta-critique on fan-made projects as well as celebrating them. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Scoob and Shag.
Nice.
Yeah, this is what I'm presenting you.
Nice.
But for the first 15 updates of this comic, it's really nothing more than your run-of-the-mill internet comic with absurd humor. However, a more cohesive and consistent narrative starts to form. The art evolves, and characters start to change.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever witnessed something as trivial as a dumb, funny comic turned into something like this.
Okay, it's actually really cute, and I kind of like the art style. What do you guys think? Me personally, I think it's adorable. Oh, here they go. Here they go. What? Shaggy, you're only using 1% of your power level, and you're missing a hand. I know tis but a scratch, but you gotta, like, come on, bro. Come on. Wait a minute. That's not Scooby. That's not Scooby. Is that who the fuck I think it is? No way. Is he trying to steal their picnic baskets, bro? What an asshole. No. Oh my gosh. Why the fuck is that? Oh, whoa. Hey, yo, Popeye's in this shit? Kind of, what kind of, what kind of bros brawl game vomit, whatever the fuck, what the fuck? The fuck? Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Okay, how many cans of spinach did this nigga eat before coming into this battle? That's terrifying.
Yes, this turns into an epic battle manga. What's
The
interesting
fuck?
is that most of what you see can be taken seriously besides the humorous elements added. There's genuinely great world and character building.
Wait, from this world. Oh, yeah, you ain't lying though.
And this comic only has less than 100 installments so far. In this universe, characters have what are called ballyhoos, which is a power exclusive to a character a la quirks in My Hero Academia. These powers are really unique and creative, such as frame by frame or simulcast. The TV indie
That is actually fire, and they're making actual references to animation industry, to the animation industry techniques that are actually used in it. That's actually kind of sick.
windows
That's
really
kind of
add
sick,
quite a bit of
actually.
charm and
On
levels out the
demand. That's
ridiculousness
cute.
of it all.
That's
Certain
cute.
characters are actually
Yo, they need to do a power up called Onion Skin, bro. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that kind of power up,
built
bro?
up really well and are extremely threatening, adding valid tension to the story. They're exactly who you think they are, too. Given that they're global icons of animation, it makes sense that they would be the most powerful. The world embedded in this comic also illustrates a fascinating and imaginative look from the inside. Basically, cartoon characters inhabited their own planet at one time. The Toonians were once a technologically advanced race who started getting broadcast on Earth for entertainment, meaning that cartoons actually kind of exist in this universe. The love and admiration from these people watching on Earth managed to manifest the power of ballyhoos, sparking a massive war and the creation of several factions. And you immediately know where
I'm sorry. Why does that look like a penis? Why does it look like a penis?
all of this is going. Overall, this setup is fascinating from a structural standpoint. I don't think the massive scaling of the plot was intentional from the creator from the beginning. Maybe the idea sparked in their head and they just had to turn it around somehow. But this is something I'd love to be wrong about. Going from this to this is just mind blowing. What is the creative process of changing genres so rapidly and effectively
Oh, the art is so gorgeous in this scene. I really like the perspective too. Jeez Louise.
like?
Nice.
Elements of parody can be so universal and tonal shifts are common, but when you add such a dense plot over something like this, it only makes it more fascinating.
Kill me, Raggy. I'm done.
This comic is far from completed, but I think I know the cut of its jib pretty well. Or this is just how I see it, really. This comic is coming out at a very particular time in internet history, when the idea of fandoms themselves are in somewhat of a paralytic state. This might just be my ignorance on how fandoms work in a panoptic way on the interwebs, but there isn't much spill from one fandom onto the broader consciousness. I feel like this comic, in one way or another, takes an idea of a fan-made creation and spins a metatextual criticism and also celebration of audience versus creation and creator. I latch onto this idea with ballyhoos as my main point of contention. Ballyhoos are creations themselves formed from the admiration of their viewers, a power drained from what I call voyeurism.
It would have been funny if he would have had like a lasagna type fucking power, just specifically in relation to his character. But anywho,
that's just kind of what I
turning bitches into noodles and pasta and sauce or whatever.
Wrote. Put like massive quotes there too. Massive quotes there. Okay, that's good enough. Ballyhoos may represent the character's control over their universe, understanding that they are viewed under a different context. They're technically alien beings after all.
Damn, Dee Dee got fucked up. Shit. And look at Popeye. Everybody getting fucked up.
Another interesting fact is that they exist within the same universe as Earth in the fiction. From a creator's perspective, this makes it seem plausible for the universe for humans and these characters to coexist naturally. Obviously, fandoms have a tendency to latch onto characters and draw inspiration or character traits from them. Having extreme admiration for a fictional character often has the desire to will them into existence in some way or another, much to the detriment of those who want it. Additionally, when we take liberties over a fictional character, especially in fanfiction, there is often a scale that is broken. Look at any famous piece of fanfiction and tell me that the scale and scope of the story isn't ridiculous. As an example, something like that old My Little Pony Fallout fanfiction. It has a full novel plus tons of side stories.
Are you dead ass? I had no idea this thing even existed until this video. That is insane. I'm not talking about like the people who created it or anything like that, but the fact that they actually put that much work into it is wild.
Plus, the fan community surrounding it still makes content for it, supposedly. It's a fandom within two fandoms, which is quite ridiculous in and of itself.
This kind of brings me back to my old fanfiction days when I used to write this shit back in high school, man. Like, golly. But there's people actually making full blown dead ass lore. Oh my goodness, for the people that don't know about like the Danganronpa fandom, that shit's still kicking to this day. There's people out here literally making like fan made Danganronpa side stories with different characters and different lore and different types of like execution styles within their within their storylines and everything like that. And it's so interesting because there's just so freaking many and everything like that. There's so freaking many different fan spin-offs that are really really good. That even includes like some of the spin-offs that I've seen for Five Nights at Freddy's. It's been people get really creative with an official IP. You know, it's very interesting.
With regards to Scoob and Shag, the build-up to the whole scale of the story is quite unprecedented. It didn't feel too abrupt, and it does somewhat feel intentional, despite what I said earlier. I feel that this is going to get even more convoluted and crazy.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, his badge is a penis, bro. Like, gosh.
Just to prove that stuff like this will be eaten up, despite how frivolous of a storytelling tactic it can be. Don't get me wrong, adding dimension to your story is
no way. They did not add Swiper up in this bitch. Swiper, no swiping, motherfucker.
but when it gets too massive without restraint, there is definitely something wrong. Since this comic is a parody, its humor and self-awareness are its metatext. The story is massive and ridiculous, and the creator knows it. The characters' demeanor themselves are another thing entirely. Of course, Bugs Bunny being the most anime-esque villain really made my eyebrow raise. This comic really plays out like a shonen anime, with its black and white portrayals of good and evil in some instances. However, all these characters still remain what make them so iconic in the first place. How the creator is able to pull this off is pretty impressive. I find this comic more humorous, but there are a lot of elements I actually take seriously. The creator is winking at the audience here, creating a fictional universe from well-known characters.
Look at that panel. Look at that fucking panel. It looks so good. Golly. Yeah, good job, whoever made this. I might have to actually unironically check this out.
And subverting expectations on its fans. The characters are getting fleshed out backstories and reasons to care about them, but you have to be reminded that cartoon characters are at war, and Felix the cat just fucking dies? Like, that's so goofy. I mean, look at this shit.
Oh, shit.
What? And then you got shit like this, which is just beautiful. Like, why?
Right. For what?
To really sum this up, I feel like this is one of the more deliberately thought out and planned fan-made or parody webcomics in a long time. It may not have started out like that, but it certainly feels like the build-up was well constructed. Or maybe this is just some massive inside joke being taken to its logical extreme. Honestly,
why is Mickey up in here? What's
way more plausible than you really think about it. With that being said, go check out this comic for yourself.
You know what this also kind of reminds me of? There was like another comic that was kind of similar to this, but it was like, oh my gosh. I want to say, oh my gosh. Okay. Fuck. It was written like probably back in 2006, maybe 2005. It was old. It was old. Okay, guys. But it had Billy and Mandy in it. Like, I know that they were older. It was about their kids. There was also other characters involved. No, maybe it was actually a different one. There's actually two of them. There were so many of these back in the day that used to be like really, really big. There was the Billy and Mandy one where again, I think Mandy got married to Grimm and stuff like that. They had kids and sh- shit happens. I don't exactly remember. And then there was another one. I think it featured the Powerpuff Girls or something like that, and it had all the Cartoon Network characters and maybe some characters from other universes. I don't remember what they're called, but if I can find them, I'll try to insert them in the video somewhere. But yeah, uh, basically, kind of reminds me of that, but a little bit better, than.
Yourself. It isn't as popular as it should be, and I feel like with a larger community backing it, socially and financially, seeing as the creator has a Patreon, we will get to see how this evolves over time even quicker. And oftentimes, fan-made creations lead to really special things. So please lend your support to this comic if you like it. Also, Courage just turned into a fucking gun. This is just
better than no fucking way. The things you do for love, man.
Anything you like. It's better than you, actually. Fuck you. Get out of my face.
Rude. Okay, well, you didn't have to be mean before ending it like that. Gosh. But anywho, that's really, really nice art. Very, very good video. I'm probably gonna check that out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. That was pretty much very, very intriguing. I was not expecting somebody to come up with like another really, really not, I wouldn't say niche, but definitely a very interesting concept. Sort of seen before, but probably improved upon over the past couple decades. You know what I'm saying? Because they're again, like those two comics that I mentioned, like that, those have been made. However, I feel like that Scoob and Shag might be better. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys want me to actually read that live on Twitch, we could totally do that. We could totally do like a live reading, and then of course just make sure you guys read it yourselves. Shit. Obviously, you guys want to support the creator, of course. Either that, or if you guys don't want to see it, I'll probably just read it on my own. You know what I mean? It seems interesting enough. I'll probably just end up reading it on my own anyways. However, let me know your thoughts in the comment section about what you think about this comic specifically, and if you've read it before yourself, or have you even heard of it? You know what I mean? I haven't even heard of this until like 5 years after this video was uploaded. So we'll see what happens. And then of course, you guys want more, go ahead and recommend me some videos that you guys want me to react to. If you guys want to see more video essay style videos, go ahead and check out my main channel. If you guys want to see more like animated and art content and stuff like that, go ahead and check out my Charcoal Studios channel along with my socials, because I'll also be posting more artwork there. And then, of course, go ahead and check out my Gumroad. I should be posting something soon. I'm not going to tell you exactly what, but you should be able to kind of tell just by the description of the Gumroad itself. So go ahead and check that out too if you're interested. I'm also planning on opening a Patreon soon. Just be patient on that. You know what I mean? Of course, I also have to be patient on that as well, because I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to share on Patreon. You know, because I want that content to be different from everything else on the platform, essentially. So just go ahead, keep those posted, and of course, you guys have a wonderful afternoon, day, or evening. You guys be safe out there, and then of course, go on.